Last year, we lost 33 million potential revenue. We had it in our system and it sold to somebody else. We got punched in the teeth 2022.
Yeah.
That sucked. And 2023 was like, 2024 was okay. Like 2025 got better at the end, right? And now this year is actually January. This year has been really good. Looking at that, it made everybody on our team think, will it ever get hot again? Can we grow a big business? Is the opportunity out there? No one's buying. No one, it's too hard. The market's too hard. And then you look at a number like that, is it over?
Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's episode of Disruptors, where millionaires are made. Today we have Stephanie Butters with LeftMainREI, and Stephanie flew in from Charlotte to talk about how she's grown multiple businesses to 8 figures a year, which is wildly impressive because it was a few years ago where you came on to talk about multiple 7 figures a year. So I can't wait to get into that. Guys, I'm on a mission to create millionaires. Information on the show alone is enough to help you become a millionaire in the next 5 to 7 years. If you'll take consistent action, you'll become one. And before we jump in, if you're here to learn how real entrepreneurs are building real empires, make sure you hit that subscribe button because every week we're dropping lessons that create your first or your next million. Right now you have 100,000, 250, probably even more sitting in your CRM. Resurrect all your old and dead leads with the objection-proof AI calling agent. Text CASH to the phone number 33777 to unlock the money that's just hanging out in your CRM. You ready? All right. So I asked you to come out because I was thinking about there was a conversation that we had back at Collective Genius. Before we even get into all of that, you were speaking on stage about what people are missing in regards to AI and their CRM. So you want to go ahead and jump into like what was the problem that people were not aware of in regards to their CRM?
Basically, homeowners becoming more motivated over time,
Mhm.
and then getting in front of them and doing, essentially the bottom line is doing good follow-up, right?
Right.
So one of the biggest competitive advantages that I have, like running a wholesale investment company for 10 plus years now, and other people just like you and our clients who've been in business many, many years, is they generate leads every week, right? And then 30 to 50% of them are qualified right now, and the rest are not, right?
Mhm.
So every week, every month, every year, you have this growing database of homeowners who you've paid for, very expensive marketing to generate them, and it becomes harder and harder to actually follow up with them.
Yeah.
Right. So you have this great competitive advantage that you've been in market forever and you have all this data, but it's hard to sift through it. So, the theory was these people's problems are not going to instantly be solved. They're probably going to get worse over time, but it's really hard to know when. So, prior to releasing what I'll talk about is, you just put them in a follow-up sequence,
Mhm.
cadences, right? You're getting texts, you're getting emails, you're calling, and what happens is the follow-up sucks. No one likes to do it. So it gets deprioritized. You're going through a task list. It's like the worst thing that you have to do all day is do your follow-up. So you call somebody, they don't pick up. You click a box that you tried and you move on, right? But meanwhile, they may have additional motivation that makes them way more relevant than even potentially a brand new lead. So the whole thought process was, how can we make our CRM alive? Like,
Yeah.
how can it serve me up better follow-up?
And you're talking about a problem. I mean, we all have a follow-up problem.
Yeah.
And you solved it in a novel way, which I think is very lucrative. But like we all have spent the money in the marketing. I was talking to Eric Brewer, like they're using our system. And he was like, I've got 60,000 leads
Yeah.
in my CRM who knew who I was, raised their hand and said, I want a cash offer.
Yep.
That are just sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
dormant, right? And so the other part too is I was talking to another member at Collective Genius this morning, and he was like, let's talk about our favorite problem. Follow-up.
Follow-up. Yeah.
Because it's not rocket science
Right.
to be aware that the money's in the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
But you have, again, a novel way of approaching it. What is the different way of looking at it or different way of solving the problem?
Essentially, we auto-enrich your entire database. So we turn on monitoring for all of the leads and opportunities inside your CRM, and we watch for certain signals like foreclosure, which can be pre-foreclosure, active foreclosure, auction date, things like that, pre-probate, probate, evictions, if you're a landlord, vacancy, absentee homeowners, mortgage rate changes like refis, my goodness, so many, like just to name a few. So essentially, if any of those things happen, your database is now hot ranked So if you have multiple things, now they're on your hot list, right?
Mhm.
So a homeowner who may have played it really cool on the phone 6 months ago is now in pre-foreclosure, and it'll be on your hot list. So you'll know why they're on your hot list. This lead is now in pre-foreclosure. So you're not going to call them one time.
Mhm.
You're going to call them a ton of times. You're basically going to call them like you would a brand new lead until you get a hold of them again. So it kind of prevents you from doing unnecessary follow-up, right? Because things that have already sold also will be cleaned out, but it also gives you intentional follow-up. I'm not just blowing through a list and it sucks. I'm like, I'm calling you because I know I can help you. Have something new that happened, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm calling you because something new is here, not just calling I'm circling back. I'm just checking in. How's it going with the house, right? Now you have some intention behind it, which I think is helpful psychology too for the person who has to actually do the task,
Yeah. And, you were on stage at Collective Genius with Casey Ryan talking about all this.
Yeah.
And for me, the thing that was most fascinating, the point that you made where you have a massive competitive advantage is that, let's say someone fills out a form on my website, they go in our system, and like you said, they're playing it cool, right? And we're having a conversation, whatever reason, we couldn't lock it up. And then a couple weeks go by, and now they've got a foreclosure notice. But the difference is we have a relationship with them.
Exactly.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, so now they recognize my voice or my team's voice, right? They've heard about us before. We were friendly on the phone, and they're way more likely to deal with me than somebody who's cold calling them or getting a letter in their mail, right?
Yeah.
Just out of the blue. Because I have a relationship with them, I can leverage it. Whatever happened with your sister? Is she okay? Is she out of the hospital? Right? Like everything I know about you, it's proprietary to me in my database. Now I'm bringing both of those two things together. New intent signals plus all my IP that I have about that homeowner.
Yeah. So when you guys talk about like your data enrichment basically turns your CRM to like a living
Exactly.
organism, you want to expand upon that?
Yeah. Because now as people sell their house, they fall out of the system, right? I can't help you anymore. Great. So they're automatically updated as sold. And I get to see too who bought it and for how much, by the way, like how far off were we? We can do a little postmortem too with the sales team if we need to. But all the people that we can't help anymore fall out. So I have to waste time or waste marketing dollars following up with those people. And the people who have events that are relevant to me, like if they're actively listed on the MLS, that's a deprioritized lead for me. If they have an expired listing, that's a newly prioritized list for me, right? And just like absentees and people who change their address, et cetera. But it's new. So just to kind of go down that vein for a second about absentee owners or vacant homeowners, you can buy that list online. Like you can go, there's multiple data providers, you can buy a vacant list. But when you buy it like that, you don't know when it was vacant. You just know that it was vacant, right? But if you have it directly connected to your CRM like this, as soon as it becomes vacant, you know. And that's super relevant. And so maybe there's an absentee homeowner first, right? Like maybe they changed their address in their tax record and they bought another house and they're in the process of moving, right? You're going to know. And that's way more relevant immediately than it is potentially 6 months later when they no longer have pain.
Right.
The first time they move, they have pain immediately. And the immediate time it's vacant or the immediate time that they file for eviction on a tenant, they're feeling pain. If they file for eviction and you wait 30, 60 days later to contact them, they probably have gone through some part of the pain and are now moving on a little bit. But if you catch them right when they file, they're pretty pissed, right? So
they're definitely very pissed when they file that eviction notice.
Right? Like you're hot. So if you follow up with that person urgently and prioritize that, your chance of winning is way, way, way higher.
Yeah. What have you seen? How have you seen this benefit you at Better Path Homes?
Kind of nerdy, so bear with me.
All right.
Okay, so I looked at it two ways. One is brand new prospects that are being generated that I didn't have in my system, and then the other one is enriching the prospects or the leads and opportunities that I had in my system already. So from a cold standpoint, we used to buy a ton of lists. I bought lists from every provider in the world, right? And when we buy a cold list, like an absentee, a vacant, of high equity, all the long ownership, I've done all the different combinations. Hundreds of thousands of records over the last 10 plus years. About 0.5% of those records will convert to a deal. About 0.5.
All of that is you bought?
Well, no. Actually, it's actually lower. I'm sorry. I actually just misquoted it. It's 0.05.
0.05% of all the data you bought.
All the data I bought will turn into a deal. So I felt really good at first. I'm like, I have a whole list. We're mailing this big list. I'm giving this to, like, we were cold calling back in the day. Like, I got to keep my people busy. I got to give them names, but only 0.05% of them actually converted into a deal. It was just a big numbers game.
A lot of effort.
A lot of effort, and we were always told that it's just a numbers game. You got to do it. You just got to blow out these numbers and whatever. When we did the intention list that were brand new live, like, so if there's an eviction or a foreclosure today, I didn't have it in my system to enrich, great. It comes in as a new prospect and we mailed them right away, right? And that's our primary outreach. We don't do cold calling anymore. So new thing happened, we mail them right away. They essentially get a mail piece in the mail like 3 to 5 days later, depending on the day of the week and whatever. Looking at that, we've been running it for a little over a year now, 0.5% of those converted. So 10 times better conversion. And so like that downstream revenue is ridiculous. I first of all, I'm 10 times better and I'm spending way, way less money. And there's a lot less brain damage.
This is the difference between what lists?
Between like pulling a big list of like just, I don't know, going on a website and buying a list. I'm trying not to be directly disparaging because I don't mean any disparagement from it, but like just convert, like going on a website and buying a list from a data provider.
Like a data provider with like, it's just like, give me everybody? Or
like just give me a list of vacants. Give me a list of pre-foreclosures.
Got it. Okay.
Versus live, daily / hourly data.
Okay, so fresh data.
Fresh, right, directly in. And the problem is it's hard to do that often, right? So like if
it costs money.
It costs money, but it's also just like laborious. Like you're going to go on, what are you going to do it monthly, weekly? It's a lot of time, right? So people don't necessarily do it daily, or it's not even available to most providers daily. So the fresh data converts 10 times better, which is huge downstream revenue and a ton. And some months better than others. I had some months it was 1.2% conversion from prospect to deal.
Yeah.
Comparatively, it's just ridiculous. And the response rate to mail is better, all the things. And then if you look at your enriching database, what I found when I first turned this on, that 5% of my database a month is sold. Just sells to somebody else. 5% a month. First of all, that sucks. But that's also a large percentage each month that I'm just not processing in time, right? So I am not going to waste my time calling people that I can't buy a house from, or my team's time. That's a lot of wasted time for people who don't pick up the phone or respond or sending mail or whatever. So we clean all that up, and it's about 5% a month, and getting better over time for sure, as we are better now. So that gets all cleaned up, and then of the people that are being enriched, we're setting about 10 to 15 new appointments a week from follow-up just from enrichment, which if we're closing about 18% of those.
Wow.
And I'm not spending any more money on marketing.
So they're already in your CRM.
Yep.
And all we have is just a recent, whether some sort of event that caused either foreclosure or vacant or anything.
Yeah.
And it just tells your team, hey, something happened with this prospect. Call them right now.
Yep.
It's like a really simple idea.
It's really simple. It's just kind of, and I don't know. Sometimes I think innovation can be over-engineered. Innovation sometimes is just about removing friction.
Yeah.
We have a lot of what we need. How do we just get better? How do we just get 1% better?
Yeah.
And just being just that little bit better results in a huge downstream impact.
What have been like some of like the biggest wins you've seen? Clients that you have?
Oh my gosh. Similar really to what I found when we were beta testing it and still using it. Just people being able to lower marketing spend, lower waste. I've seen a lot of people cut cold calling because it's kind of a gamut, with like the numbers you have to feed to a team in order to get a result, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of, what I've noticed is it's kind of like that thought process you go through when you have contractors. You're like, I just got to buy a house because I got to keep my contractors busy.
You got to feed them.
You got to feed the contractors, but then you do like a bad deal. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm doing a bad deal to like keep contractors going, but then I'm losing money. Like, that's just not right.
Losing money, sleep, putting out fires.
That's not good economics.
No.
And it's kind of the same kind of gamut with cold calling, especially as things got more competitive and margins got compressed. People are like, I got to do more and more. I just need more lists to call. I need more cold callers. I need more and more and more. So I've seen a lot of people reduce that or stop cold calling because now they have better data and they don't need to. You don't need to throw a ton of spaghetti at the wall. You can be, a little bit more focused. So I think ROI in general has increased across all of our customers across the board on what they're able to do with what they already have. And then the stuff that they don't have, they can spend just a little bit of money per month or per week on mailing and get a better response rate.
I want to touch on a few different things you said.
Yeah.
You say it like it's casual, it's like no big deal. But I want to dig into these. The first one, postmortem. Not everyone does these, right? Okay, so
It kind of hurt your feelings.
oh, it's painful,
Yeah.
right? So it's sold.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? So walk me through a postmortem because you got the deal signals and you're finding out like, hey, this is no good.
Yep.
We lost this sale. What happened? What's involved in a postmortem?
So every week that updates, and it essentially shows you what opportunities, and that's the ones we review with our sales team, is what opportunities did we have that sold to somebody else? And it varies on the week how many there is, but there's generally 5 or so. Sucks, right?
Yeah.
So every week we have on our sales meeting, we pull it up and we look at it, and they're all organized by sales rep. So we'll have 3 to 5 sales reps that had a loss in that week. And then we'll look at it and we'll say, okay, 123 Main Street, we made an offer for $110,000. It sold for $150,000 to X and X LLC, right? What did we miss? How did they get it, right? Like, who is that person? And do we know them? And like, okay, well, now they're on our buyers list because they apparently paid more than we did. Like, let's just reverse engineer that for next time, right? Let's get to know them. They're my new friend. And then what did they do that was better than us? And we can review like how was our follow-up? Did we stay on top of our pipeline? When we were in negotiation with them, like, did we call them every day? How did we handle that opportunity? And sometimes, we drop the ball there. Sometimes we drop the ball on the underwriting, like we could have offered more. Sometimes we drop the ball on rapport building and like truly finding the pain. Sometimes people play it way too cool, and we're like, oh, we didn't think they were that motivated, so we gave them like a price range. Oh, we're gonna be like 120, and then we weren't real sure, or we had a hard time getting in person, so we ballparked them. There's all kinds of stuff that we can learn from that, and I think what's been really helpful for the sales team is it's no longer subjective. Right? They're like, well, we don't know what happened. I don't know. She's not picking up the phone anymore. And I was like, no, they sold. Like we had it, and this is what we can learn. So it's more. I think it's more impactful because it's not theory. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's been really cool to see. It's super humbling. I think last year we lost $33 million in potential revenue. $33 million.
Better Path
Homes.
33 million potential revenue.
Potential revenue. We had it in our system and it sold to somebody else. I think it was 33. Something ridiculous. And
like, that's a stomach punch number.
I mean, I think part of it's the stomach punch, right? Like, oh my God. And the other part, it's encouraging. It's like, this can be a gigantic business without doing much different. Yeah. Like, we just need to be a little bit better and like, let's chip away at that number, right? And then we can triple our business, right? Yeah. Just by being a little bit better. So in one aspect, it hurts and it sucks. Obviously, we want all of it. But on the other side, it's really motivating at the opportunity in front of us. Because especially the last couple of years, I don't know about you, but we got punched in the teeth 2022. Yeah. That sucked. And 2023 was like, 2024 was okay. Like 2025 got better at the end, right? And now this year is actually January. This year has been really good. But, looking at that, it made everybody on our team think, is it over? Like maybe it's not over, but maybe will it ever get hot again? Can we grow a big business? Is the opportunity out there? No one's buying. No one, it's too hard. The market's too hard. And then you look at a number like that and it's real, right? Yeah. And no, it's not. People are buying. People are finding a way. And then we're not that far off. We can just be better at this or that. So anyway, long monologue, but I maybe it's just my optimism, but I find it to be encouraging that the opportunity is in front of us. We just have to be better about grasping it.
Yeah. And the postmortems, like we call them postmortems. People call them, as I said, it's very morbid. Another way to call it is after action reviews.
There you go.
All right.
That's the medical side of me. Postmortem. Yeah.
That is very medical. Yeah. The other ones we call them autopsies.
Blameless autopsies.
Yeah. Blameless autopsies.
Blameless. No one gets in trouble. We got to learn.
Other number you said is 5%. 5% of your CRM sells every month.
Yep.
So you got really good hygiene that you can keep tabs on top of like removing the waste, because with the information you have, you're able to remove 5%. Implication here is that if you don't pay attention to this, your CRM is like a wasteland. Not a wasteland. It's filled with a bunch of busy work that's just wasting everyone's time.
Because you can't help them. They sold.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes I'm worried, like, well, should it be bigger? Should that number be larger?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never measured it before, though, until now. You know, like, what is a healthy number of people to sell? Because you'd expect these motivated people that I'm paying for leads, you expect them to sell like during the year, right? So it's made me take a hard look at that too. And so we're trending it. I'm very curious to see what this is going to be over time. Like, was that a really bad number and it's getting better? Or like, should more people sell, like to me or somebody else, if I'm getting better leads? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting number, but that's the benchmark. So I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a surprising number. It feels high, but I think if you have really good data
and good leads,
yeah, it should be. They're selling to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. But to your point, if you don't know that, I mean, before that, I wouldn't know unless you told me or told my team, right? Like, like take me off your list. I sold my house. That's the only way I'd really know. So. And those people just generally don't pick up and they just ghost you. So your CRM gets bloated and just impossible to manage.
And the other thing too, I'll just go real quick back to the postmortem. So Eli Fisher, when he was with Ardantic, he did this audit, if you remember. Hey, everyone give
the pukers. What did he call it?
Well, there was that also. No, but he's like, hey, give us access to your CRM and we'll tell you how many leads you lost due to lack of follow-up.
Nice.
And so we did. And I saw that we lost 46 sales in 1 year because they sold to someone else. And that was it's like when I got that, I did not feel very good.
Oh.
And basically I was like, yeah, we're just gonna keep calling everyone forever because the lack of follow-up is purely what caused this. So now you can do this in real time. We don't have to do this like once whenever Eli Fisher feels good.
Right.
It's just
once you get a nerd near you.
Yeah. Yeah. So just nonstop with the tool. A question I have is, where did this idea come from?
Really?
Yeah.
It's just ongoing problem in my business and just wanted to make it better. I was inspired by ZoomInfo. Have you heard of ZoomInfo?
I'm aware of them. I don't really follow it.
It's kind of like a B2B software, essentially, where you can look up contacts for companies like Slack or whatever. Like you can look up a big brand and try to find decision makers at these big brands. They have an integration with G2. G2 is a software review company. So you can go in there and look for reviews and try to find a software to solve your problem. I don't know if it's taxes, if it's whatever. There's a million different softwares out there, right? So if you go to that website and search for reviews, it actually, there's some sort of buyer intent signal that goes from that to ZoomInfo. So if you're on ZoomInfo and you sell sales tax software, for example, and you look at Stephanie Better's, I've looked at sales tax software in the last year, it'll show that I had buyer intent because I went on that site and I looked for something, right? So I was like, that's really cool. That's relevant. I want to know when somebody searches for something like that. And so I think that was kind of the catalyst of it. It's not directly relevant to homeowners, right? They go online and say, how do I sell my house fast? We know about that. We know about Google ads and all those things. But what if we can get them with an event prior to that?
Yeah.
Is the gold, right?
So, because like where we started off with LeftMain was because you're trying to figure out Salesforce. And you had a problem with Better Path Homes. You weren't out to make a software company.
No.
Like, I have a problem. I need a better CRM. And you just went and made.
Got the part where I got really mad.
What part did you get really mad?
I got really mad because it wasn't easy, right? There wasn't a solution for me. And when I went to Salesforce, I went to Salesforce because they're the number one CRM in the world. I was like,
800-pound gorilla, can't ignore them.
I'm tired of stuff going down. I'm tired of stuff being buggy. And like,
what were you using at the time?
I was using Podio and another one that's out of business now, Mobile or something like that. I don't know. I was using lots of different things on the real estate investor side, and then other things like Asana, and then we tried Monday too, and CallRail, and all these different disconnected things. And we were doing a lot of business, and I was a COO at the time. This is literally madness. I can't make a decision, and like it's all unstable. Stuff was breaking. And that's why I was like, what's the number one? I'm just going to go buy it instead of these like small homegrown things, right? And anyway, they quoted me a lot of money. Like
Salesforce,
their developers wanted $1 million bucks, literally, to build it over the course of a year. I was just flabbergasted. I was not prepared for that money, for that amount
$1
of
million
money. Literally.
build out costs.
Yeah.
So I need to talk to my team. Like, you got to start selling customers at $1 million custom build out.
Look, Deloitte. Okay, like Deloitte has a good deal. Whoever started Deloitte, because they write some scopes of work, my friend.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. I just wasn't the avatar for that. Like the small business, like what am I want to spend $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly someone is, but yeah.
It's a filtering system.
I guess. But I was so furious because I just didn't have a solution. I was so desperate for a solution.
You're angry about that lack of solution. Were you also angry about the $1 million, or were you just like, whatever?
All of it. Yeah.
All of it.
I was super upset because I couldn't believe it would be that much to solve my problem. I was like, it literally can't be that difficult. Why is this so difficult? Turns out it is difficult. But if you're mad enough, you can overcome it. So I taught myself how to code, built a LeftMain on Salesforce, and what is now LeftMain, but it was really just at first a solution for Better Path Homes. Mm-hmm. And then, funny enough, plot twist, Salesforce came back and asked to partner.
Oh, that's nice. And we're going to talk a little bit about that journey. Okay, so then was it the same thing with deal signals?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, like, I'm sitting here feeling pain too in this business, right? Like, I own this business. I wanted to do well. Like, what the hell? Why is things not working? Why are things harder now? How do we get better? And, buying all these lists. And to be honest, I've been saying it for years prior. I'm like, why are we sending, what year is it? We're sending spreadsheets to each other. We're sending CSV files like via email that are a mess and like where they live all over. Like, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. We're using computers. Why are we sending data on spreadsheets? Why can't this all talk to each other?
Yeah.
We don't do that. So eventually I was like, I wanted other people to do it, but no one was interested in solving that problem. So I said, well, okay, fine. Well, then I'll do it.
I think this kind of goes back to our your mantra before, which is I eat problems for breakfast.
Dang right.
Yeah. But you kind of like wavered on that a little bit. You're like, I don't want to be the person who eats problems for breakfast anymore.
Well, the funny thing is, okay, you want to let's dive into my self-help journey that I've gone on?
Yeah, let's do it.
So my background in medicine, right? I've trained myself to find problems. Like, that was my job, to look at you and know, first of all, if you're telling me the truth, you're hurting, what's wrong with you? I want to
patient. Your job is to find out from a patient.
I'm a patient.
If they're telling the truth about their symptoms.
Right, because sometimes people play it cool, right? There's not you don't always get the truth from a patient, or they downplay.
Seems weird to me.
Have you ever gone to see the doctor and you had your wife ask you, well, did you ask him about that? You're like, no.
Well, I wouldn't ask her because I'm a guy.
But see, so it's the same thing.
But I wouldn't lie to a doctor.
Well,
right?
you may not flat out lie, but some people do.
Well, I bring that up because like my favorite show, one of the very few shows I actually finished was like Dr. House, right?
Yeah.
And like his whole deal is like everybody lies. It's like, why would they lie?
Because they're embarrassed. There's a million reasons.
Maybe just because I'm shameless.
Maybe. Maybe it saves your life one day.
Yeah. So, all right. So patients lie.
Yeah, but it's not even just that. Like, it's just I'm looking for a problem all the time, right? So I've kind of programmed myself to find problems. And actually, when I feel anxious, I like my first gut, like unhealed part of me is like, I'm just going to check shit. I just got to go check things. Is everything okay? Why do I feel this way? I'm going to go. And so I look for problems, right? And of course, you find problems.
You can always find problems.
You can always find problems, but then like I have this feedback loop because I'm good at solving them, right? So I'm like, okay, well, good. Now I know I feel productive. I'm gonna solve stuff. And so then I went through a period where I felt super overwhelmed by that because I was like an arson, basically. Like, I'd check things and find problems and then solve them, and like then I felt completely chaotic, and I felt overwhelmed by how many problems there were. And that's kind of when I started, like, the only way I got myself out of that, from being overwhelmed and not feeling completely crushed, like, no, problems are not a big deal. I wake up, I eat problems for breakfast. I don't care that there's a problem. I'm going to figure out a way to solve it. It's not going to take me down. It's going to be fine. So that got me through many years, right? Being like, I'm not overwhelmed by problems anymore. They're going to be there. I'm going to find them. They're going to surprise me, and we're going to battle them. But now, on my little journey, I've come to deal with not looking. Like, not when I feel anxious, not to not go like create chaos by trying to find problems. Now I've spent a lot more empowerment on my team and trusting my team to do what they need to do. And I've been able to recruit and hire and retain incredible talent that I trust. And so I'm no longer like digging, like if that makes sense. But I'm not afraid of problems. I will solve them.
Were you ever an arsonist at one point?
No.
Within your organization?
Probably. Because I mean, I look for, if I feel anxiety, like that's how I try to solve it. My first instinct when I feel anxious is that there must be something wrong. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just, there's nothing wrong. And I have a moment to breathe. I'm like, what's this? Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of moms who will relate to that, where like the house is quiet.
Well, I'm asking this because most business owners are arsonists.
Yeah.
Right? Like they'll create problems subconsciously, just have something to fix. I was just wondering if you ever described yourself this way.
I probably was. I'm sure I was, But I think that energy helps you start a company, but then it becomes very difficult to grow that company if you stay in that zone.
Yeah. Because like I can speak for myself. I don't think I was ever one to like create problems, identify and like create problems of like existing situations.
Yeah.
My problem was always like, things are really good right now. Let's start something new. That's where I was kind of an arsonist to the overall business ecosystem. The other thing too, as we're going through your growth journey, is we went through this whole exercise with positive intelligence. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was cool because like that, was it Bobby on Jimmy Reeland's team? So Bobby Coe shared that with me, and I shared that with you.
Yep.
And we just had everyone at CG do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you remember like your results?
Oh, shoot. No, I can't remember. I have it on my phone though. What were they again? What were the categories?
So I can
tell me, I'll remember.
I can speak for myself, right? Hyperachiever.
Yeah.
Hyper rational.
Yeah.
What was it? Restless. Mm-hmm. Confrontation. I'll see, that's 4 of them. What else was there?
There was like victim.
Yeah, victim mentality.
Yeah. I was tied for 2. I want to say hyperachiever, and then one more, maybe perfectionism.
Yeah, perfectionism.
There's perfectionism. Yeah.
It wasn't controlling, but it starts with like a stickler. Stickler was the other one.
Oh, that's not the second one I did.
Yeah.
Hyperachiever is definitely was a top one, but there was a close tie with the second one.
Well, I think everyone that took it at CG was hyperachiever.
Probably.
You have to be to be in that room.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you where you have to achieve. But I bring this back just to see, like, did you find any like correlation between like, I got to go solve problems to positive intelligence and as part of this whole journey?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's funny because your strengths can also be your weaknesses, right? And my gosh, entrepreneurship, if you got to look at yourself and like know thyself, right? I've never had to be more self-aware in my life. So I don't know, maybe you can go get a therapist, maybe you can go start a business, but like either way, you're going to figure out how to try to be healthy, right? Because it uncovers everything. It uses everything, which is cool. Like all of your previous experience, like people think like, oh, medicine, how does that relate to real estate or SaaS? Totally does, right? Definitely, I've brought a lot of lessons over, but it also has uncovered a lot of like, things I'm fearful of, right? And or things that have wired myself to do, like hyperachieving and putting out a certain level of excellence, right? And like that can be a really great thing because then I can build things and put out things that help people and solve problems, and that's great. And everyone wants someone around them that's going to solve their problems, right? You want me to hang out with you, then I'm going to solve all your problems. I can't help myself. I'm like, okay, give it to me, I'll do it. But then if I keep doing that, I I completely drown myself. And then I'm in like an unhealthy state where I don't, so I've had to learn to accept progress and accept the journey so that I don't crush myself by trying to solve all the problems around me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think the greatest demonstration of that, you were still a doctor.
Nurse practitioner,
doing heart surgery. Yeah. So you're still doing heart surgery while running a wholesaling company, getting LeftMain up and going.
That was pretty silly. That was a lot. And I realized things that like I can physically do things longer than I can mentally do things, if that makes sense. Like I can sacrifice myself and my mental health and my balance and my all the things So that if I can physically, I used to tell myself, well, if it's physically possible, then I can do it.
Mhm.
Right.
Sound like Elon Musk over here.
Right. But I'm like, well, there's a cost to that. And I paid that cost. Like, it's kind of glorious to say now, like, look at all the stuff I did at the same time. And I was consulting with Sharper at that time too. Like, I was doing so much and Better Path. Like, it was just, I was doing so much. And then I paid a personal cost. Like, I like broke my brain.
What was the personal cost?
I just wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't exercising. I felt like I couldn't be present with my family because my brain was always on and running and like stressed, right? Like I think I went, especially considering the medical side, I probably went 20 years without sleeping more than 3 or 4 hours a night.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't sleep. And there would be weekends, especially when I was on call, I didn't sleep at all. And so I felt so unhealthy, and I had a hard time just being in my own skin, like just sitting and hanging out without worrying I'm missing something or I got to check that, or you know what I mean?
I just can't imagine that being physically possible. Not sleeping 4 hours a night
Oh, it
over
is.
20 years.
It is. It doesn't feel good.
Well, I imagine it doesn't feel good. I can't even fathom it.
When I left, so I started, obviously weaning back on a lot of things. But what I kept for the longest time was Better Path, LeftMain, and work at the hospital. When I left the hospital, it took me probably 2 years to figure out how to sleep.
Really?
Literally. Like I now sleep 8 hours a night. I feel like that's one of the best health things I've ever done. Just sleep. How silly is that? But I now sleep and I feel a million times different, but it took literally 2 years to heal that.
Yeah. There's a couple other things I want to hit on before we go back to the multiple 8-figure businesses. So I believe it was the same event where you and Casey were speaking on stage, or maybe it was an event after that. But like, we're in Dallas. It was March of last year.
Remember this?
And someone's talking on stage. Can't remember who it was. I wasn't really into whatever he was saying. And you're like, hey, get over here. It's like, okay. And you said to me, hey, you should, supplement your sales training with some AI stuff. You should go ahead and, add some role play, add some coaching behind it. It'll be a big value add for your customers. And I was doing my best to be like laser focused. I was like, that's a great idea. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's flattering.
I was like, no, really. Do it.
And then and Ian was sitting there too. I was like, hey, Ian, get over here. So then I was like, all right, you tell Ian and see what he says. Right. And I believe you say the same thing. And he's bought in, but like, it doesn't take a lot to get Ian to buy in. Right. He's a visionary. Like, hey, we should do this. All right, let's do it. He's like, we've described if, was it Billions or Billionaire, whatever. Like, I'd be Axelrod and he's my.
I haven't seen that show, but I need to.
Yeah. So, but he's the guy that's like complete enabler. It's like, I have a bad idea. Like he's fully
what
behind.
Time? Yeah.
Yeah. When are we doing this? Right. But that was like the first seed. And then, I go, it's like, okay, thank you. I'm flattered, but like it's a distraction right now. And then like the next day I'm sitting next to Brad Chandler. He's like, hey, Steve, I got this problem. I was like, okay, what's the problem? It's like, when do I know my reps are ready to go on appointments? Like, I'm spending $400 a lead. I need to know when they're ready for a new hire. It's like, can you create something where we can like just score them? It's like, cool idea. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
And then on the third day of CG, Casey Ryan, like, hey, you should add this call scoring and give it away to all your clients. Like, yes, 3 people. It seemed like it was a distraction at the time.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like we have to do it.
Yep.
And so
so glad you did.
I'm so glad we did, right? But it doesn't happen without you like starting it.
Right.
And so like I'm client number 1 for my company, right?
Yeah.
Because we have to use it internally. But you're client number 2.
Yep.
Like right out of the gate, we were doing this for LeftMain. And so I just want to,
and Better Path, both sales teams.
And Better Path.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just want to say, like, it was without you, your support, your inspiration, it would just kind of sat there, like, and potentially have someone else kind of come in and swoop it and take that and seize that opportunity.
I appreciate that, but you did it, my friend.
We did, and it was a lot of work, but we did. And now, officially, as of January of this year, and also on the board of advisors.
Hey.
Yeah. So, because I'm going on this journey now, right? And I've got, a lot of really, really smart friends, a lot of successful people in real estate, a lot of people that have done some pretty incredible things. But it's pretty cool to go on an adventure with someone that you like.
I know.
You've already been on this path to partner with Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, there's no better acquirer than Salesforce. So you've been really instrumental for being on my board. But then the other thing too was I had a health scare, which I can give you an update. We don't have to do it on the podcast. But I had a health scare where I was seeing 3 of everything. Kind of scary. I'm posting about it in the hospital, right? And it's funny. This is also terrible, right? I got some health issues, seeing 3 of everything, and I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty confident that if I tell my wife this, she says you need to go to the doctor. I would be like, it's okay, I'll be fine.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I would do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I go to Grok and I say
So you ask Grok.
I'm suffering triple vision. Here's what's happening, and it says go to the ER right now.
Yeah.
So I go to the ER and I'm posting pictures in the hospital, this and that, and you're texting me, and I am doing 2 things simultaneously. Every blood result, every CAT scan and MRI, I'm uploading in the Grok. I'm texting it to you.
Were they right? Were they the same?
In the end, you guys came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
Turns out you were both wrong.
Well, you had complex migraines, didn't you?
No, we ruled that out.
Oh, okay.
But you guys came to the same conclusion. So you're as good as AI, as a doctor. You and my AI doctor are right here.
All right. Let's see what happened after all that then.
But it's pretty cool, right, to have someone in your corner. So not only are you helping on the AI side and the business side, but it's to have someone that you can send here's my blood work, here's what the MRI says, here's the CAT scan says. Yeah. This is probably this. That's pretty cool. Just want to kind of highlight there, you guys don't have a doctor friend.
No copay.
No copay.
Yeah.
Just text them the results.
I will say though, this is the deal. If you text me something silly, I save it in a folder.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've had weird things that people have sent me, weird rash. Someone sends me something, I save it forever.
So if I run for office.
When you run for office, I'm gonna be look at this picture of you in the in the hospital bed. No. Yeah. You didn't send me any pictures, but sometimes I get unsolicited rash pictures.
Oh, really?
I'm that's a little. Send me a warning, okay? But know that I'm going to save it forever.
So I haven't done that. It's PDFs. I send you PDFs.
That's fine.
Yeah. But the other thing too, so we're going through this whole I don't know how much AI you're using in your thing and deal signals.
A lot. It's all machine learning. It's all it is.
So walk me through, because I want to talk about something we're doing cooler later on this year. So what are all the things you're doing as far as machine learning inside LeftMain deal signals?
If you're a real estate investor with a sales team and you're stuck babysitting reps instead of growing your business, this is for you. Right now, your reps are burning through your expensive leads like they're practice dummies. They're making costly mistakes you won't catch for weeks, and 70% of your potential revenue is walking to competitors because of inconsistent follow-up. That's why over 130 operators are now using objectionproof.ai to automatically review every single call within minutes, train reps with AI roleplay sessions, and never miss another follow-up. Stop watching your competitors pull ahead while you're trapped doing manager work. Click the link in the description and book a call with my team to see how we can help you install a self-managing sales team this week.
Yeah. So essentially what we do is, I don't know how technical you want to get, but
very technical.
Okay, good. So most of our product is built on the Salesforce platform, right? As the user interface, but all of the data and machine learning and algorithms are all built on the back end on Snowflake. Snowflake is essentially a data lake. It's big enough that you can have a really big complex database, SQL database that you can feed back into Salesforce and basically make a nice user interface. But you can crunch everything outside very, very quickly. So we have direct single line authentication between somebody's LeftMain organization to our Snowflake database. So essentially what happens is we transform your CRM into its own LLM. So when we make predictions as who's the most likely to sell, we have all the public data, right? And most of the time that's more relevant than what you have in your CRM, right? But we enrich your CRM with all that public data that's hot ranked and scored and learned, and on the machine learning side as to what those things mean. So for example, maybe there's a case where there's an active MLS listing or an expired listing, and 17 other things in the back end that make it most likely to sell versus somebody with one thing, probate, being the most likely to sell, right? So long story short, there's a lot of ways to crunch all that data. And the easiest way to do that is in this big data lake and then feeding it into your CRM. So you get really unique insights based on your data, your notes, the what you know about the property and the homeowner, plus all the public data. And your insights and your hot list, if you will, can be completely different than somebody else who's in your market because you have different proprietary information about homeowners than somebody else potentially does. So it's kind of like a single line LLM, and it's only getting better. Now that we're a year out, we have run tens of millions of data points through that algorithm, which it takes a ton. I'm sure you've experienced that same thing. It takes a while to learn, and you need to give it lots and lots of data points. But now that we've run it through all that, it's getting better and better and being even more accurate of how it can score and predict things. So much so that you're like, why? And you don't know.
Yeah.
Like it does this like vector math thing that even I don't understand. And thank God we have data engineers that are way smarter than me. I'm like, well, why is that the prediction? And they're like, actually, it's unclear as to why, but we know it because of like all these spider webs to all these different like 3-dimensional connections it made.
Right.
Like, oh. So essentially everything that we're doing from our product development moving forward is all integrating AI.
Yeah.
I strongly believe 5 years from now, we're not going to have a keyboard anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be voice and talking to tech like a coworker. And so I'm building towards that right now. So what that means is everything has to be enriched. Everything has to be logged a proper way so that you can actually spit out an intelligent response when you ask your CRM, who should I call today in natural language?
Yeah.
Instead of like scrolling and clicking and like all that's going to be gone, right?
I mean, I kind of envision a world, and I think it's kind of scary. I think potentially even for Salesforce is like you just sit down. It's like, who should I call right now?
Right.
Or not who should I call right now? Like call someone. Call the most likely person to sell.
Yeah.
And then you just talk to that person.
Right. With your meta glasses.
Yeah.
I think we're always going to need databases. And so it's been interesting to see how these gigantic companies are looking at this problem because they're way smarter and have more resources than us.
A lot more money.
And a lot more money, infinite money. And truly, if you can figure this out, there's no end. It's not an object. And the way they're looking at it is basically database infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so I think the world is going to change significant way in how we interact with tech, but we'll always need databases. There has to be something that I own and I store my stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I think how we interact with that is going to, be way different, but I'm still going to need storage house for my things, so.
So I got my sales team and love them, but they've got some challenges, right? And one thing is they lose sales opportunities where people feel like, I'm not sure I'm ready to do this yet.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that, I was like, if you're not using AI in 2026, just plan on not being here in 2027.
Right.
What are your thoughts on maybe it's a very stark,
No, I think you're dead on.
Yeah.
The reason why, first of all, it's going to be integrated into everything that we do, like regardless on what you believe, it will be. But one of the reasons why I think it'll put you out of business if you don't integrate it is because it'll just be too expensive to do business the normal way.
Yeah.
Like call it inflation, call it macroeconomics, microeconomics, call it just the real estate market in general, and what it takes to generate a deal and generate a lead. It's really hard to afford to function when you need a gigantic team to do it. Like just take cold calling, for example, and having 20 cold callers. Like you got to pay for that. You got to pay for the data for them to process. That's super inefficient. You got to go through all those motions and you got to like hold the line until it's profitable, right? If you can make just that one piece of your business more efficient, you don't have to spend as much to get the same result, right? In fact, you spend less to get a better result. So that's the business landscape right now, is that it's just really expensive to have headcount and to have like bloat, be it office space, be it employees, be it tech that's difficult to integrate with and like not connected to other things that you're using. So if you're not using AI, you're just inefficient. And I think we'll go bottoms up.
We had Case Morby on the show, I don't know, 8-9 months ago. And the way he put it was like, oh, you don't want to invest in a tractor? Great. Good luck competing against me while I'm in my tractor and you're over there with a shovel and hoe.
Right. It's kind of the equivalent,
Yeah.
right? Like how many people would it take to plow that field versus just having a tractor,
Yeah.
you know?
And so anyway, I maybe just have my team just watch this part right here.
But it's true. It just takes too much to run a business. And the beautiful thing about real estate is you can do gigantic numbers. I think Casey Ryan was just here. He probably talked about how much he does with a super small team.
Yeah.
He is shockingly efficient.
6 million profit, 12 team members. Actually, I had people text messages like, is that real? I was like, yeah.
It's like he is dialed in and he is leveraging tech in such a cool way. And him and I just love sitting down and nerding out with him. But that's the cool thing about real estate is you can do these gigantic numbers with small headcount, and we're going to see it more and more. I think we're pretty close. I read an article sometime mid to end of last year that there'll be the one person company that has a unicorn event, $1 billion valuation with one employee, a human employee, right? So anyway, real estate investing I think is interesting and innovative in the sense that you can do those kinds of numbers without 200 team members.
Yeah, I kind of have this outlook. I don't know. I'm a bit kind of a doomer on the AI side.
I thought you were going to say boomer. I was like, you're not that old.
I know that's what my kids call me. Where I kind of see like we're going to have maybe like 10 or 15 or 20 wholesalers in the whole country, right? Because like if you're not adapting fast enough, you're going to get absorbed or eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of where I see this going. So hopefully it doesn't get to that.
I don't know if it's going to be that severe, but it's going to be pretty severe.
Yeah. So all right, so you're using that to turn everyone's build kind of like a large or a language model using their CRM. Is Deal Signals then effectively AI, machine learning, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And then essentially what's happening this year is it's just getting better at predicting by of course all the public data that's available, but then all of your CRM data and like all the little things like user activity or the number, like what people respond to in a text message or a phone call, like what they say and what you've logged in your notes and things like that. Like it's learning all those things. And we're finally at the point where it can truly spit out a prediction that is completely generated on its own with those two data sets. And it's unique only to your business.
Yeah.
So it's like you specific, not even like market exclusive. Like who cares about market exclusivity? Let's care about like CRM exclusivity. Like what do you have that's your most valuable gold in your whole business is your data. So let's make it even better, you know?
So I don't know how much we can talk about this yet, but we got an event coming up.
No.
What can we talk about? What can we say?
It's going to be in October. I feel like we've settled to the month.
Yeah. Is it October? I thought we were September. I don't know. One of those 2 months.
We had the end of September or first week or two of October.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still finalizing the dates, clearly, but we have a potential location and potential dates and a concept.
Yeah. And I think what's cool is this idea of putting this event together is that a lot of events is like, hey, listen to this guy talk on stage.
Yeah. More.
But that's not your vision.
Mm-mm.
What's your vision for the event?
I want immersive tech. So I think that things are moving really, really rapidly and it's overwhelming, right? Like I don't even know what's out and what's coming. And in fact,
it's changing so fast.
It's so fast. And the only real way I grasp it, and I feel like I'm pretty technical, but I will grasp it way better if I can just play with the tech, right? And it's really difficult to get your hands on it or to be able to do that or like even figure out someone's tech by yourself. So the vision is, what if we just have an event that is immersive tech? So all the coolest, all the newest and the greatest technology for real estate investing specifically is there. Everyone has all these products that they're launching. Let's just have it so users can come and just plug in their computer or use their demo computer that's there and actually use it and be productive.
Yeah.
Like I want it to be hands-on technical stuff. I don't want to hear theory from the stage. I think I think those days are starting to wane. You know what I mean? I think now it becomes, who are the actual tactical operators that can do anything with you? And let me learn from them. But then also, let me just do it. Show me the value. You know, like let me just plug into the tech and use it. So that's the vision is let's just get in there and plug tech into our companies.
Yeah, really excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's so different, but it's so valuable for anyone that's actually in the space who would walk away with like the tools in place, if not fully set up, at least started
Yeah.
so that you can start using it. One of the things, I'm going through this whole journey, right? For onboarding, when I was just selling coaching, right? It's like, I just take your credit card, right, over here, right? And then, hey, just show up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And as long as I showed up, I've onboarded you. It's done, right? And I showed up almost always because, like, very, very fortunately, I don't get sick, right? So, like, I've never missed a coaching call
Yeah.
due to illness.
Yeah.
I've missed it because I'm at CG, I'm at boardroom, and then Ian covers for me. Like, but I've never missed an event,
Yeah.
a coaching call due to illness. But onboarding software is a completely different animal,
Yeah, it is.
right?
Ask me how I know.
Well, I've learned a lot of lessons
Yeah.
at your expense. Picked up some lessons, but I'm still experiencing some of those other lessons that you
Yeah.
went through as well.
Yeah.
But onboarding, I was going through a book. We just finished it. I'm actually making my whole company read it. And the book is Never Lose a Customer Again. Have you read that one?
Mm-mm.
Fantastic book.
Yeah.
So we started with Software as a Science. So we
Yeah,
made everyone
great book.
learn it.
Yeah.
We didn't make everyone read it. We made everyone learn the principles, right? I'm teaching it to them. Never Lose a Customer Again. It's like everyone in the company needs to read this, because everyone needs to understand this philosophy of keeping the customer excited no matter where they are in the cycle. But there's one chapter in that book that opens, which says there's no onboarding product that is harder than software, right? And the reason why in the book it says the business owner decides to stroke a check, swipe their credit card, right? And once they swipe their credit card, all right, you set it up.
Right.
Who had no say in the decision,
Yep.
isn't bought into the process, may not actually be technical, and they have to go set it all up.
Yep.
And it's just this big cluster.
Yep.
So what I'm excited about with this particular event is that you'll be able to walk away equipped versus the nightmare paying for software never used. It was some crazy statistic. It was like, I think it was like 90% of software is never used after purchase. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. I've never heard that before.
It was just some statistic. I was like, that cannot be true.
You just pay for it like a gym membership. You're like, I don't know, I'm donating it to a good cause.
I mean, I know, like, what was it? 80% of books are never read,
True.
right? Like, you buy a book, you read chapter 1 maybe, and then that's it. Like 80% of books are never read.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it. But yeah, so with software, that's what I'm excited about with this event.
I think it's such a win-win because obviously from the customer standpoint, you get to choose all the stuff. You know that it works before you make any commitment. Maybe even you have a couple different stakeholders like you as the owner, and then your team is there. You bring the person you're going to delegate this thing to. So you get a little buy-in, right? And you get to validate it. But then on the other end, imagine what a value add that is for the tech company to get live feedback. People pay big money for user groups.
Oh yeah,
Like crazy amount of money to like, here's a phone. What do you think you should click on? Right? Like that's crazy. So imagine getting that feedback live too. It's just, I think it's such a win-win for everybody. And hopefully it accelerates the whole industry.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely know it will.
Yeah.
And then are deal signals and LeftMain a package deal, or is it separate? How does that work?
Oh, that's a good question. So we have to just have different editions. So it depends on where you're at in your business. If you want all the data and all the enrichment, obviously it has a cost to it. So we have different editions. We have an edition that is just the core CRM automations, all the best practices for running a business, essentially. And then we have a deal signals package that has all that enrichment and the property sales AI, et cetera, which is the property updates when things sell. And then we have a package that's like a premier package where you can customize and configure things above and beyond what we do. So about 50% of our customers, since we released it, will opt into kind of our middle package, which we call Launch, which is all the CRM and business operations of that, plus all the data and AI. And about 25% probably go to either other way.
But no one's bought deal signals that doesn't have.
No, you have to have LeftMain to get it.
Yeah,
In the future, maybe not. So in the future, maybe not. We have a really cool roadmap. We have one other product that's going to, bring on and elevate deal signals even more on the buyer side, which is super exciting. That's coming out by the summertime this year. And then once we finish our roadmap, potentially an off-platform solution.
Gotcha. So you mentioned that Salesforce asked to partner with you. What does that mean?
Kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
kind of non-traditional. Honestly, I don't know why it happened this way. I call it fate, call it a God moment, call it just plain old kindness for no reason. So after that call, I had multiple calls with Salesforce and like these fancy development people, and I don't even remember what the company was that they're with, but something fancy. After that whole call where they quoted me this $1 million roadmap, I literally freaked out on this call. Like I was flabbergasted. I thought it was going to be expensive. I was like, it's going to be $30,000, whatever.
Ish.
Which I was like, even that was a lot. Like we could not afford that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I was like, we're going to find a way to afford it. Anyway, so I was so flabbergasted and like taken aback and surprised. I just like flipped out on this call. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And I was just going on and on.
I hope this recording is somewhere.
I'm sure there is. Like, I used to say, I never can run for public office, but we've seen worse.
Were you mean?
I was not mean. I was just astounded, and I was like, how hard can this be? What are you guys talking about? And I was like, I'll just do it myself. And then they thought that was really funny. So then I was like, they laughed. They thought that was cute. Like, oh my God.
You could hear the laughter.
Oh yeah. Like they literally laughed in my face. Because I was at the end, I was like, I'll just do it myself. And they're like, okay, little girl.
Yeah.
Literally. So I was like, then I was even more, and I hung up the Zoom call and I was like, I'm just going to build it. I'm going to freaking figure it out. Right. And so then, it took me 3 months and 100 hours to figure out how to code on it and to launch it. And then the Salesforce AE, who had introduced all these fancy development people, followed up with me and basically said, hey, did you give up? I just want to check in on you. Do you want those connections? And I was like, actually, no, I'm done. Thank you. I built it. And she said, well, can I see it? Like, all right, I'll show it to you. That way you like stop and you leave me alone, basically. Because now I was like kind of upset. Like I had a bad taste in my mouth of the whole thing. I'm like, I just want to do my own thing, like whatever. But I jumped on a call with her and I showed her and she said, this is something, you know that, right? And I was like, something for what? She said, all right, can I come to Charlotte and come meet you? I was like, sure, bring coffee.
Yeah.
So she did. So she came, I don't know, a month or so later. And we went, she was like, let's talk about this thing. And she's like, every single real estate professional that I talk to has the same reaction you do. They come here and they're excited to have a solution and they feel hopeful. And then they're like just flabbergasted too about the cost of what it's going to be and how complicated it is or whatever. Have you ever thought about selling this? Do you think that you could? I truly have no idea what that means. Like I've never thought about selling software in my life. Like, what is that? She's like, I really want you to talk to the Salesforce partner team. So I was like, I'll talk to whoever you want me to talk to. Like I have nothing to lose, right? So she introduced me to, now I know, but this is like a high up person on the partner team that is a decision maker to negotiate a contract, which you usually don't get to. Like you usually just put an application in the website on the App Exchange and go through this. You get someone who doesn't really know too much about any technical.
I went through this process. It took a while.
It takes a long time, and it's like there's no technical person. It's fine. But so anyway, I got introduced to this person. They're like, yeah, I think there's an opportunity here. Do you want to do it? And I was like, well, I will do it if I can sell it for an affordable price, that I can sell the entire thing that I have right now built, and I get to control the sales process. Like you guys, no offense, didn't know what you were talking about, and it just upset me, And so they said, okay, see if you pass security review.
Yeah.
I passed security review, first try. And it launched January 2020.
Yeah.
And my God, but then, then COVID hit and I was like, oh, maybe nothing's going to come of this, but just started talking about it with my friends, and my friends were like, yeah, can I try it? I want to buy it. And they bought it, and then they told their friends, and we kind of had this very grassroots thing. And here we are 6 years later. Today is actually the 6-year anniversary.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then.
Isn't that wild?
It is very wild. What is your, because, you're trying to get into this venture capital world. Like, what is this vision for all that?
I got a real big vision.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about it. I think that, the whole industry is about to get completely disrupted by tech. And the grand scheme of changing regulation and things like that, like I think there's a huge opportunity to be a tech platform that can compliantly do all the things that need to get done in real estate investing. probably all I'll say on a public podcast. I'll tell you more over a glass of wine. But I have a big plan over the next 10 years. And a lot of it is leveraging data and AI and transaction management and title work and how title is performed essentially through this archaic process right now. But I've got a big plan. I did raise venture capital. 2024, very end of 2024, I raised with an angel round with an angel investment company in Charlotte. Shout out to Charlotte Angel Fund. They are awesome. And then after that, I did a Series Seed round with another group out of North Carolina. And that has helped so much. I raised money specifically so I could build all these AI products. And
That's a great call.
we doubled a couple years in a row. So do it again this year.
Yeah, that's a great call.
Yeah. I learned a lot.
So we're going to actually talk a little bit about, how we went from multiple 7-figure businesses to multiple 8-figure businesses.
Yeah.
But before we do that, you're also starting a new podcast.
I am. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to try to be like Steve Trang. No one could be like Steve Trang.
I don't know if you want to be like me. I'm not sure that's something that you want to try to be.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah. You got obligations. You got to get space.
You got to have these lights. They're glorious.
You got to have employees on the other side of this wall. But what's the podcast about?
So I'm actually going to do it with my husband, Zach. So it's the two of us, and it's called Who's in Charge?
That sounds like a very dangerous
title. Like we could fight about it?
Yeah.
No, we don't fight about it. But it's a leadership podcast. So I think it's, we flipped our first house in 2007 and founded Better's Homes of the Carolinas, which was in 2012, I believe, something like that. I actually forget. It's been so many years. And then we merged and became Better Path Homes. And then we've launched several other companies since then. And as it stands right now, he's the CEO of Better Path Homes and I'm the CEO of LeftMain. Those are each of our kind of like full-time gigs, right? So I think it's really interesting. Both of us had our very own unique CEO journey and entrepreneurial journey, but we're married and have had to figure out a way to run the household with 2 entrepreneurs, right? And he's way more entrepreneurial at heart than I was, and maybe I've got the crazy juice now. I don't know, but so I think it's been an interesting leadership journey for both of us. And we've met a ton of really cool people along the way. So the whole premise of the podcast is the leadership journey and who is in charge of the company. Like, what does it take? That person that sold their business for $6 billion, who is that? Like, how did they do that? Right? From a SaaS perspective and also from incredible real estate operators, because obviously that's a huge part of our story. So the idea is just like bringing those lessons to light and talking about it. I'm excited. It's launching in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of, are you doing virtual or in person?
Virtual.
Let's say, because like Charlotte's a great hub.
I know. Well, maybe we'll do some studio in the future, but we just want to I just want to get it launched.
Yeah, because like I would say like the thing that worked really well for me is like in Phoenix, everyone wants to be here.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, all the
I want to
brewers
take a 5-hour flight to come hang out with you. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's simple here. And like, I mean, like I know Charlotte is the main hub only because getting stuck in Florida, like how do I get out of Florida? It's like I gotta go to Charlotte, right? Because like
come hang out.
It's always Alabama or Georgia or Texas. It's got some crazy storm.
Yeah.
There you go northeast a bit, and then west.
Charlotte is a crazy airport. I never have to connect there, which is like the blessing. But yeah, every flight goes to Charlotte pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about some of the things that you've done because like you've doubled 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty substantial, right? Like normally when we're younger and you say like, I want to double, right? Because that's just, you're hungry, you're ambitious,
Yeah.
you're going to double. And then life kind of like punches you right back in the face, right? So then as we get older and we consult and we coach and mentor. And so I was like, hey, I want to grow double every year. And it's like, well, how about we settle for 30% first?
Yeah.
Like, let's come up with a plan for double.
Yeah.
But let's be happy with 30%. You legitimately doubled 2 years in a row. How did you do that?
Well, I think improving your product line and bringing more products to market helps, right? Like what I've learned, I'll back up for a moment. What I've learned from Better Path Homes, and LeftMain is that there are revenue ceilings. And like, as you break through these different revenue ceilings, you get a little like escape velocity. Like you can pop right up. Like, so I feel there's a revenue ceiling at 1 million, and then the next one is at 3 million in a real estate investment business. But once you break through the $1 million, like you can pop up to 3 relatively quickly, and then you can get stuck there until you break through that ceiling, right? And there's different things that you can unlock along the way that help you do that, and some of those are harder than others. For example, the first thing you really got to break through is building a funnel. Like, what is your funnel? What is your conversion rate? What are all the cogs in your lineup, right? So along the way, I learned that there's a significant revenue ceiling that you can break through if you have better business units. And so what that translates to for SaaS is being better at solving the customer's problem. And the customer has many problems, right? Yeah. And so first you got to solve the first problem really, really well, right? Like hyper focus. And I did for 4 years, knowing I had this big plan. I'm like, no, I've got to nail this part first before we can even get to the other stuff. And I'm like, Chris Richter will tell you, like, him and I had this conversation like 3.5 years ago. I'm like, I got to do it. And I'm like, anyway, so I solved one problem, and then I essentially developed another business unit to solve additional customer problems that all were like together with them, like that built up upon the first problem. Mm-hmm. I think you talked to me a little bit about this the last time I was on the podcast. You're like, how do you evaluate opportunity? Like, how do you pick, right? And so for me, does this compound on what I'm doing already? Like, is it still in the same line? And so with CRM, like the LeftMain story, like we needed an industry-specific CRM first. That was a really difficult problem to solve. Having that be a good product and onboarding people properly and retaining people and helping people grow their companies and add user licenses and all this stuff, right? And then helping them navigate years of being on platform. And then the next problem that everyone wanted to solve with this was a follow-up game, right? And there's a lot of different ways that you can solve that problem. You went a totally different way of solving that problem, which is still as valuable. But the way I solved it was on the data side because I had the CRM. So that compounded against it. So essentially it created another business unit inside of LeftMain, like additional products and things that we solve that are super complementary to what we're already doing. So that is one way to double, right? Of these different business units. And then another way to double is having resources to actually invest in accelerated growth. One of the things that is really challenging about doubling in a real estate investment business is it burns cash. And most people don't have a ton to burn. So you're constantly fighting against profitability and revenue, right? Like you cannot sacrifice profitability because then you go out of business. Mm-hmm. But if you have a big and articulated plan and you go raise venture capital, you can burn for a little bit while you're building and launching, right? So raising venture capital gave me a lot of resources to be able to actually do it well and quickly instead of over the course of years when it almost becomes irrelevant, right? Like now, 2 years from now, if I had launched it bootstrapped, it probably would have been irrelevant. I had to do it again. Like I'd just do something different. You can almost never get the opportunity underneath you. And the third thing was leadership, like hiring really incredible people with way more experience than me. Like at LeftMain, I truly have a C-suite. Mm-hmm. Like I truly do. Not an inflated title like for a COO, right? Like no, my COO is a COO. My CTO is a CTO with 25 years experience, right? Like unbelievable that they want to come work with me. Right. So the leadership team is the caliber that I can give a vision and they can articulate it into their department and actually have it do like they can do it. I don't have to be the one to like push the rock over the hill all the time and like basically just have people waiting for tasks for me, which that's how it was for a long time because you're bootstrapping, you can't afford the crazy person, right? And I never gave equity away. I gave equity away now to those leaders. So they're like invested in the company with me and a lot of wonderful things can happen when you have smart people on your team. So
I want to talk about first. So business additional units, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Right. It's a way to add revenue.
Yeah, and to translate that to real estate investors, if for those listening that are not SaaS entrepreneurs, that's like having a business unit around JVing. So you may be wholesaling and direct to seller, right? And you may get really good at dispositions, and then you can have a business unit that helps you that you just JV with other wholesalers, and that is a business unit, and it has a different team that does that, right? And like that's complementary to what you're doing. Yeah. Just as a super quick example,
right? So products make sense. Capital. Did you decide to go get capital? Did you get stuck, and someone's like, "You need to go raise capital"? How did that journey begin?
I just, well, a little bit of both. I decided I needed capital and I didn't know how to get it. Like I knew nothing about venture capital then. So the first thing I did was find advisors. Networking is really a crazy thing. It's so much fun. But
You say fun. It's stressful for me.
Like people.
I don't.
You're good with people. Anyway, I definitely felt like I hit a ceiling of like what I knew, you know what I mean? And I was like, I need different mentors, but I don't know these types of people. So I started going to different types of events. I started going to more Salesforce events. I started looking on LinkedIn for people who have done M&A activity before, like on the SaaS side, or who's sold a company to Salesforce before. Let me like find these people, right? And surprisingly, there's 1 degree of separation. Like it's crazy how many people are within your network or close to your network. So I started just networking and talking and just, hey, let's just connect as entrepreneurs, like, and make friends. And I did. And I was like, and one friend I made, her name is Blakely. She's incredible. She built a company called TaskREI and sold it. It's a Salesforce type company, sold it, incredible exit. Anyway, she was like, yeah, I was telling her about this. I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of hitting a ceiling, you know, I'm grateful to connect with you. And she's like, do you have any advisors? No, I should get those. She's like, yeah. I'm like, duh, right? Like, it's like going to a mastermind. Like, what am I thinking? So she became an advisor and she kind of introduced me to that person. They introduced me to that person, blah, blah, blah. I had an advisor board. And essentially, it's just a group of people you can ask questions to that will tolerate your stupidity. You know, they're like, you be naive and ask me whatever you want. Yeah. And so I did. And I was like, I need capital, but I don't know how to get it. And turns out having really great advisors makes you more fundable. Right?
Well, it's funny. So you're that first one. So you're going to be my Blakely.
Yay.
You're going to make all these connections for me. But I was actually talking to someone this past week and talked to too many people now where I kind of forget, which is ironic because I don't like talking to people. But they were like, someone was asking me for money and they don't have an advisory board. So I just blew them off. It's like, oh, wow. Like,
it's serious.
That's a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea how real a thing it was until he just kind of like just casually, oh, they don't have an advisory board.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah. This is the cool thing about venture capital is they're very high risk. And one of them told me 1/3, there's a rule of thirds. 1/3 of the companies that we invest in go out of business. Like we don't get any of our money back. 1/3 of them break even. Like they have a decent exit. We maybe get our money back, like most of the money back. And then 1/3 of them actually do better and produce a return on our money. So 2/3 of the time, like nothing good happens, basically, right? Like you've wasted time on one, you got your money back, fine. The other third, like you lost it. It's like those odds are pretty low, but they're so excited about it. So they expect you to have trouble, right? They expect you to be a dumbass for a little while, which is kind of nice because like then you can be honest, right? But like, no, like listen, there's some things I just don't know, and they know that. And so they look for you to have a good advisory network. Like where's your padding around you? And if you have good padding around you, it really elevates your chance of being able to be funded because they're like, okay, if you have enough good people around you, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
That's neat.
And then the third thing was your executive team. And like before we talk about yours, like one of the most exciting things is to go through this journey, right? Because like when I was doing coaching, it was like, you know, we have a good team.
Yeah.
But I can never offer really like potential exit.
Right.
And so without a potential exit, you have to find people you have to like lead and manage.
Exactly.
Now that we can recruit based off a potential exit, I'm getting talent that I would not have expected. And so like I had a call last week, one-on-one with our fulfillment, director of fulfillment. And, you know, he's like, hey, I just made a decision. I'm just going to start building this out myself because I can't wait for anyone else. Like, you're just going to build it out. Like, yeah, like, you know, I know how to code. I went to college. I have a computer science degree. Cloud code, I could just do it all myself. It's like, great. Like, we don't have to wait for anyone else. We don't have to go talk to anyone else. It's like, I'm just going to build out this dashboard exactly as I want it. You don't get that when you don't have a potential exit. Right. The people you can attract based off the upside, you don't have to like manage them, hold them. Like, it's not that we don't hold them accountable. We still have to hold them accountable. But like, I literally have people, a lot of people in my company now who actively think about how to improve this company on the weekends.
Funny thing happens when they own a piece of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's wild. So anyway, so I go back to you on the leadership side. How do you attract the leaders in your organization?
I mean, first is vision. And it's the same way with venture capital. Like, you really have to articulate your plan. The vision has to be big enough. There has to be a big enough addressable market that you can produce something valuable inside of it, right? So that's what everyone will ask you first. But like, what are real estate investors? Like, how big is that opportunity to help them? Like, who cares, right? Most people don't know how big of an opportunity this is, right? Or like how many real estate investors there are, how much of the real estate transactions they're doing in the US, right? So it's a little bit about setting the context of why this is important, like why you should listen, right? This is the situation. And then this is how our approach is in solving these problems. And you have to be able to articulate that vision to somebody so that they understand it. It's not just fly in the like spitballing stuff. Like, you actually have to have a plan, right? And people will pick up on your plan being like sus or not, right?
Yeah.
Not to talk like my 16-year-old, but like, you actually do have to have a plan and a thoughtful plan and forecast. Like, what do these numbers look like 5-10 years from now? You have to think about that, and then you articulate that to a smart person, right? And they're like, okay, I can see how this could potentially work. And then they're looking at you too, like, what have you done? Why you? Why should I trust you? Have you ever been successful before? Like, what are your like, this culture, all culture stuff, all do I want to follow you stuff, or what is your track record? And then how do I plug in to this? Can I help? Like, essentially, like, if you were trying to hire a CTO, they want to know, like, can I actually provide value to this? Like, how do you plan on plugging me into this? And what kind of team do you need me to build? Most executives will ask you that, like, what do you need me to build here? You know, and
Very different question.
Very different
in an interview
question.
process.
Yes. And I'm like, this is exactly what I want you to do. And I'm like, okay, no, I can do that. I've done that before. Like, I want you because of this experience. You're at this interview because you've had this exact same experience in this role. And I want to know how you can translate that here. That's why you're here. And I'm like, no, I can do that. Yeah. You know, I'm interested.
Do you require a headhunter for that?
I use a headhunter for my CRO, my revenue officer. Everyone else I found through networking.
Like going to events, letting friends know that you're hiring.
Yeah, friends of friends, going to events, advisors, knowing somebody maybe that they can introduce me to.
Yeah. So, okay, so adding more products, raising capital to go fund it. How much, can you share how much you raised?
$6 million.
$6 million.
Like that. Yeah.
All right, so raising $6 million. So now you can go develop the products that you need.
And hire the people that
And
I
hire the
hire.
people.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's, I'm trying to think, like, how would you work that in a wholesaling business? Or
I mean, I think there's people who are trying to do that for just being able to purchase and hold an asset. Like, it eats up so much cash to be able to buy land if you're going to build, to wholesale or wholesale, right? Like, it's not wholesale, wholesale or flip. You got to hold the asset for a certain period of time, and like, it eats up your cash. Rentals do the same thing. Like, it's a great model to buy a lot of rentals, but you're not going to make a lot of money for 5-8 years when, by the way, you sell them, not just by holding them and getting rent, right? So there's a period of time that you need to be able to tolerate relatively low or small incremental profit increases, but it takes capital to be able to accumulate the things that you need to do in order to get to that next place, right?
Yeah.
So on the real estate side, that's raising private money so that you can flip more houses instead of taking a traditional loan out, right?
Yeah.
It's potentially raising a bunch of money and buying more rentals with more of that capital, right? So it's being able to raise money so that you can have operational expenses or make an investment in R&D. I don't recommend that. I recommend you spending money on assets and not operations, but look what you can do when you have private money.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because like there's I remember he's just started multiple real estate funds because he got into real estate to buy assets, and it's painful to buy assets while you're building up a wholesaling company. But he just raised money, buy assets, and those assets pay him a fee. Actually, we had John Burley here, and he's a guy who's not very well known nationwide, at least in our circle. But he's done very well where all he did was just raise money and just buy assets. And he would just own everything 50-50 with everybody. Just go raise a bunch of money, buy everything 50-50, pay yourself a $10K assignment fee on every property you buy. You do pretty good.
You do pretty good.
You can scale pretty fast in capital before versus trying to grind it out to buy assets.
I think having some money, having some margin, that's probably the better way to say it. Having margin is really, really helpful because you can go a little bit faster. You can also make some clearer decisions because you don't have a gun to your head every month. It's really hard to do that. And I'll say this too, like you don't have to raise a bunch of money to be successful in real estate. Like you don't have to, but if you want to break through these different revenue ceilings, you certainly need to have resources. And resources can come in many different things. It can be in joint ventures. It can be in money. It can be in team members. It can be a lot of different things, right? So it doesn't just have to be money, but having a business plan that is fundable like that certainly helps you execute quicker.
Yeah. And then on the other side, going back to real estate, because we're trying to figure out like products, capital, leaders, but you could do the same thing with products, adding other ways of driving revenue inside your company. Capital, just raising private capital.
Yep.
And then leaders, like the other thing you can do too is, we see some teams where they give revenue share or potential to flip with the company.
Yes.
Right? Like, hey, on this deal, like you've got some extra money, you can be the lender on this deal and you can make some extra money while working. So you get to benefit from the company winning.
I think alignment is super important. You know, there's, like you said, there's lots of different ways you can set that up, but true leaders want to create and own their part of the thing that they're creating around. And it doesn't have to be ownership in the company, but maybe it is winning on a deal that they can, or contributing to a deal or contributing to a success in some way. Like everyone wants that ability. They want to grow themselves. They want to learn. They want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Like this is all normal human nature stuff. Yeah. And I think you can recruit really phenomenal people when you give them an opportunity to align like that with the company.
Yeah. And I think some of the best people you can hire are entrepreneurs.
Yeah, exactly.
People that want to build, but don't want all the headache in building.
And there's a lot of really good ideas out there that just are done poorly. So what if they like your idea and help it actually get done well? Yeah. They don't have to have a new idea. Like who cares about a new idea? Let's just do that good idea super, super well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can make a lot of money that way.
Yeah. So I asked you a lot of questions. Was there anything that we haven't touched on that you think is important for the people that are listening?
Open-ended.
Yeah, it's very open-ended. I'm out of questions. We talked about everything. We've fully digested all of this, your whole life story.
You got a lot of it, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm excited about what we're going to do together. I think that the most successful people are the ones that are collaborating. And so I'm excited about what that looks like from the product standpoint and seeing how we can continue to do that better. And then just real estate tech in general. I feel like, you've got a voice and we can have a voice together in helping make that really wonderful for our customers, right? And us who are investing in real estate ourselves, right?
Well, it's funny you talk about collaborating because so we have a mutual client who was unhappy with how things were progressing in the development because they bought LeftMain and they bought objection-proof AI. Right? They were frustrated. And
with integration,
right? And he did, I say, a smart thing. He sent an email. He was unhappy, but he CC'd you and he CC'd me.
Problem solvers 1 and 2.
And so what do? I take a screenshot, send it to you, like, what do you know about this? And you reply back, I don't know. What do you know about this? But in that conversation, you and I agreed, you know what? Let's get our team, both of our teams, on the phone and have them figure it out and create a solution that makes the client happy. Yep. That's collaboration.
That's it.
Right? There wasn't like, oh, well, LeftMain sucks. Right? They're like, oh, well, that's Steve's problem. That's Steve's company's problem.
Yeah.
We both quickly got on the phone and solved the problem together.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
That's how it should be all the time, right? Like, hey, we care about the same person. Let's just make it better for him.
Mutual customer.
That's right.
And then the other things too is, I don't know if we talked about it the last time, but like we're investors together in your apartment complex.
Yeah, that's right. We own some stuff together too.
We own some real estate together, which I forget periodically. Oh yeah, I own apartments.
You just get that email from me like, everything's going great.
Yeah, that's all I need. I just need to know everything's going fine.
Yeah.
But then the third thing, because we have, again, a lot of overlapping clients, is that it appears, just reading emails, it appears that we've now built out something where on the deal signals, right?
Follow up.
Deal signals.
That's Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So deal signals happens, and then our follow bot reaches out.
Imagine that.
So it's like the double whammy
Yeah.
on follow up. So you got a signal from LeftMain, and then our AI bot gets to work.
Right.
It's like it's magic.
Right. It's really cool. And what I like about that is I can stay hyper focused on what we're really good at from a product standpoint, and you can stay hyper focused on what you're really good at, and they're complementary.
Yeah.
You just got to work together and know what each other are building, and that's why I think it'd be really cool to do this event. Like, we can help. Like, I really care about this, like, our customers, right? Like, that was me. That is me. Like, I want to help real estate investors do more transactions, and I can't solve every problem. You can't solve any problem, but like the collaboration and the synergy we all have together with the end goal in mind of helping investors, like, there's so much impact we can have. It's so cool.
And that's with Jordan Fleming, Smartphone,
with
who was
Smartphone.
on here not too long ago, who you introduced us.
Yeah.
Like right after, I was like, all right, I'm doing the AI thing. What should I do? Is like, let me connect you to Jordan. Again, really, really helpful. But like that part where that customer journey, because that person, that was you when you were like talking to Salesforce.
I know, right?
Like, I've got this problem and like no one will take me seriously.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
Now we can help that person out.
Right. And maybe that's why I take it personal and we're like, and feel so passionate about it, because that sucks to feel that way.
Yeah. I know you and Jason Lewis are two people I know that lose sleep.
Oh, yeah.
When customers are unhappy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and honestly, I don't know how to be any other way. I don't know how to, but some days I wish I could just be like, all right, so it's fine. It's fine. Right. Like someone on my team can respond, but like, no, I think it takes being this passionate to survive 6 years long, like, I love solving this particular problem. It's a difficult problem to solve. Customers and people on their entrepreneurial journey are at all different stages and have all different types of reaction to technology and how to learn it and how to use it and leverage it. Everyone has different reactions, but this is my problem to solve, and I'm excited about solving this one thing. Yeah.
So I think just to kind of wrap it up, it's the customer doing everything you can to make sure the customer wins.
Yep.
And us as vendors, product providers, solution providers, do what we can together.
Yeah.
Make sure the person that's most important wins.
Exactly. You're not collaborating, you're losing.
Yeah. It's sound kind of weird, right? It's refreshing to still hear this. So, I started this podcast in 2018, right? When I started this podcast in 2018, there's Sean Terry obviously here.
Yeah.
And that guy it gives it all away.
Yeah.
Right? He's been an instrumental leader, I think, in some ways, kind of like the godfather of wholesaling.
For sure.
In Phoenix. And when I started this podcast, I was teaching abundance and, like, let's share everything.
Yeah.
Because that was my journey when I started real estate. Or not started real estate. Sucked all at real estate. When I started having success in real estate, was learning from people that had a lot of success.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that were willing to open their doors, let me into their company, just introduce me to people on their teams. Like, here's what we do. Here's how we follow our process. This is on the realtor side. It's not the wholesaling side.
Yeah.
On the realtor side, like the people that are most successful were most available, sharing what's working for them.
Yeah.
When I started the podcast, just brought this energy, right? And we have people coming on the show, talk about abundance, talk about sharing and this and that. But there's a part of me, still kind of a jaded individual. There's a part of me that says, yeah, it's easy to say abundance.
Yeah.
When everyone's doing.
Yeah.
If everyone's doing good, we can all preach abundance. And in the back of my mind, I really spoke this vocally, was like, we'll see what happens when the tide changes.
Yeah.
And see if you actually speak abundance, if you actually speak collaboration.
Yeah.
You still do.
Still here.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. But it's the reason why you have all this success.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have been blessed by just radical kindness Look, really, in my medical career and the real estate investment career and the SaaS thing, like shocking kindness for no reason, like for people who really can't get anything from it, like that AE who just was like, hey, you should do something with this. She didn't get paid for that. Like literally nothing came from that. I have countless stories like that in my investment career when I'm like just scared and don't know how to move forward, and like having mentors just be like, no, it's okay, you can do this. And like having my mind blown. So I feel indebted to do the same exact thing. And it's funny because I hear people or see people post on Facebook and things like, I hate when people ask to pick my brain, blah, blah, blah. I will give freely everything that I know if I have time to do it. I will absolutely, I don't care. I'll go to CG and I'll tell you everything I know about everything because I know that karma comes back around, and I have been already rewarded beyond what I believe I've ever deserved, right? So and been the beneficiary of that kindness, and how good that feels. I just want to keep doing that for as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah.
We'll all win. Like we're all still standing, or we'll still win,
Right. Someone want to connect with you, find out more, what's the best way for them to do that?
And probably Instagram or Facebook. At Steph Betters is my handle. You can find me there. You can email me, Stephanie@LeftMainREI.com. Those are the two best ways.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been an
Thank
absolute
you for
pleasure.
having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.
Steve train. Jump on the Steve train. Disruptors.